Pranachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacara Ashtotar Sata Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी, हरि हरि बोल। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, chapter 15, chapter 6, the demigods and the demons declare a truce. So we're going to start from text 15 and go on until text 26. And the verse that we'll focus on is text 15. So should we do call and response or should we all chant together? I'm not. Okay. Sure, we can do that. What is the starting verse? 15, text 15.
Text 15. I, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and all the demigods, accompanied by Prajapatis like Daksha, are nothing but sparks illuminated by you, who are the original fire. Since we are particles of you, what can we understand about our welfare? O Supreme Lord, please give us the means of deliverance that is suitable for the Brahmanas and demigods.
Shukdev Goswami continued, when the Lord was thus offered prayers by the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, he understood the purpose for which they had approached him. Therefore, in a deep voice that resembled the rumbling of clouds, the Lord replied to the demigods, who all stood there attentively with folded hands.
Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of the demigods, was capable of performing the activities of the demigods by himself, he wanted to enjoy pastimes in churning the ocean. Therefore, he spoke as follows.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other demigods, please hear me with great attention, for what I say will bring good fortune for all of you.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other demigods, please hear me. Oh, did I repeat this? No, okay. As long as you are not flourishing, you should make a truce with the demons and asuras who are now being favored by time.
O demigods, fulfilling one's own interests is so important that one may even have to make a truce with one's enemies. For the sake of one's self-interest, one has to act according to the logic of the snake and the mouse.
Immediately endeavor to produce nectar which a person who is about to die may drink to become immortal.
O demigods, cast into the ocean of milk all kinds of vegetables, grass, creepers, and drugs. Then with my help making Mandara mountain, the churning rod, and Vasuki, the rope for churning, churn the ocean of milk with undiverted attention. Thus the demons will be engaged in labor, but you, the demigods, will gain the actual result, the nectar produced from the ocean.
My dear demigods, with patience and peace, everything can be done. But if one is agitated by anger, the goal is not achieved. Therefore, whatever the demons ask, agree to their proposal.
A poison known as Kalakuta will be generated from the ocean of milk, but you should not fear it. And when various products are churned from the ocean, you should not be greedy for them or anxious to obtain them, nor should you be angry.
Okay, we'll do text number 15. Aham giritrasta chura suradayo ye dakshadayognir iva ketavaste Kim va vidamesha pritag vibhata vidat savasam no dvijadeva mantram aham giritrascha suradayo ye dakshadayognir eva ketavaste kim va vidamesha pritag vibhata vidatsva samna dvijadeva mantram aham giritrascha suradayo ye dakshadayognir eva ketavaste kim va vidamesha pritag vibhata vidatsavasam no dvijadeva mantram. Would anyone like to chant? Aham giritrascha suradayo ye dakshadayognere vaketavaste kim va vidamesha pritag vibhata giritrascha suradayo ye dakshadayognere vaketavaste kim va vidamesha pritag vibhata vidatsvasam no dvijadeva mantram aham giritrascha suradayo ye dakshadayognere vaketavaste va vidamesha pritag vibhata vidatsvasam no dvijadeva mantram. Anyone else? Aham giritrascha suradayo ye dakshadayognere vaketavaste kim va vidamesha pritag vibhata vidatsvasam no dvijadeva mantram. In the translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and all the demigods, accompanied by the Prajapatis like Daksha, are nothing but sparks illuminated by you, who are the original fire. Since we are particles of you, what can we understand about our welfare? O Supreme Lord, please give us the means of deliverance that is suitable for the Brahmanas and demigods. Purport. In this verse, the word Dvijadeva Mantram is very important. The word mantra means that which delivers one from the material world. Only the Dvijas, the Brahmanas and the Devas, the demigods, can be delivered from material existence by the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a mantra and is suitable for delivering the conditioned souls from mental speculation. The conditioned souls are engaged in a struggle for existence. Mana shastrindriyani prakritistani karshati. Deliverance from the struggle constitutes the highest benefit, but unless one gets a mantra from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, deliverance is impossible. The beginning mantra is the Gayatri mantra. Therefore, after purification, when one is qualified to become a Brahmana, Dvija, he is offered the Gayatri mantra. Simply by chanting the Gayatri mantra, one can be delivered. This mantra, however, is suitable only for the Brahmanas and demigods. In Kali Yuga, we are all in a very difficult position in which we need a suitable mantra that can deliver us from the dangers of this age. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His incarnation as Lord Chaitanya gives us the Hare Krishna mantra. Harir Nama, Harir Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nast Eva Gatir Anyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. In his Sikshashtaka, Lord Chaitanya says, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan. The Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is directly chanted by the Lord Himself, who gives us this mantra for deliverance. Would anyone else like to read the next para?
We cannot invent any means to be delivered from the dangers of material existence. Here, even the demigods such as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva and the Prajapatis such as Daksha are said to be like illuminating sparks in the presence of the Supreme Lord, who is compared to a great fire. Sparks are beautiful as long as they are in the fire. Similarly, we have to remain in the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and always engage in devotional service, for then we shall always be brilliant and illuminating. As soon as we fall from the service of the Lord, our brilliance and illumination will immediately be extinguished, or at least stopped for some time. When we living entities who are like sparks of the original fire, the Supreme Lord, fall into material condition, we must take the mantra from the Supreme Personality of Godhead as it is offered by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, we shall be delivered from all the difficulties of this material world.
Thank you. Okay, before I begin, I would like to take the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas. I'm just trying to repeat whatever I've heard. Anything that comes out good is all the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters, and anything which is any faults is on me. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we are actually continuing to read this pastime of where the demigods and demons are forming like a truce. So the little background is the demons have conquered the demigods and taken away their positions, and so the demigods go along with Brahma and take shelter of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu suggests that, they form a truce and they churn the ocean of milk. So in this verse, actually this series of verses are loaded with so many instructions for us. Srila Prabhupada he says his purports are his devotional ecstasies. So we can see so many nice points, The first point in this purport is, where the Supreme Lord gives the demigods a mantra, Srila Prabhupada translates that the meaning of mantra is like, that which delivers one from the material world. Actually, mantra is two words. Man is the mind and tra is to deliver. So although Srila Prabhupada translates this as that which delivers one from the material world, little below then Srila Prabhupada says it's actually the mind, the mind is what is stopping us. So, further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that it's the Gayatri mantra which is for the demigods and the Brahmanas. But as we all know that Lord Chaitanya came in this age and he gave us the Maha Mantra and anyone could chant that Maha Mantra. And actually, okay, small question for the kids. What are the two ways that we can chant the Maha Mantra? By singing. Jaishnav is saying by singing, okay? And what's the other way? What's the more, like our personal relationship with Krishna, how do we do that? By japa, yes. So recently, we had this nice japa workshop by His Grace Braj Bihari Prabhu. Japa is like our personal relationship with Krishna, and like 4 points were being made, like how, we need to absorb, in chanting the holy name, especially during japa. And the second point that was being made was, like how it is so important to read the Srimad Bhagavatam every single day. Recently in the Sadhu Sangha retreat, His Holiness Shivaram Maharaj gave a class, and Maharaj is making the same point, like how, like if we want to chant quality japa, it's very, very crucial to read the Srimad Bhagavatam every day. And then in the japa workshop also it was being mentioned like how, a reason is given like why we have to read the scriptures daily. Because, like we have so much avidya, by reading the scriptures, like that avidya is destroyed. And then we can actually understand the purpose of chanting, then that will actually give us the taste. And so it's so nice that, and the other thing what I was thinking was this reading or hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, it is like directly associating with our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, he put so much of his time and energy to write his purports. So if we read the Bhaktivedanta purports, and read Srimad Bhagavatam, it actually helps us in so many ways, like we have this verse also. I think I didn't chant that verse, Nashta Prayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Like all that is troublesome to the heart is destroyed to the root, and loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord is established as an irrevocable fact. So, and so that's japa. And then we have the congregational chanting, kirtan, which is what Lord Chaitanya came to actually give to this material world. And he predicted that it would spread all over the world. We have our exalted brahmacharis here, Mahatsava Prabhu and team. sorry, Rishi Kumar Prabhu. So they are here, they are so determined to spread Lord Chaitanya's mission, doing it day in and day out. And then we have our Mishra Bhagwan Prabhu, who has been doing this for more than 50 years, distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. He pretty much goes out every day, I think. And he also engages so many devotees in our community. And we also have, I think, our community Chakri Prabhu and Mother Vishnu Priya. They do their Harinam every week. So many devotees attend. So for most of us, we may not be able to do it every day since we have family life, families and other responsibilities. But I thought I'll focus a little bit on the monthly Sankirtan festivals. There are so many communities who do that, like ISKCON of Silicon Valley. They do that. They pick a day where there's a holy day, like say for example, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance day, and the entire community pretty much goes out, does a big Harinam, do a lot of book distribution. It's a really nice way of engaging the entire community. And not just that, so many devotees like Mother Lalita Sundari, she makes nice cookies. Mother Bhakti Priya, she also makes nice cookies, and the kids can pack the cookie bags, and it's a nice way of engaging. So just some food for thought, maybe, if we have enough enthusiasm. And our temple president Naishingaru Prabhu is very, very supportive, we won't even invite like traveling Sankirtan devotees like Mahasava Prabhu, and who can actually take us and show us like how they do it so nicely, And by the way, this weekend we have one opportunity. We have a festival. It's in Mesquite, where we're going to set up a book table. So if anyone would like to participate, it's from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. Please let me know and we can sign you up for that. Yeah, also like there are so many devotees who have been doing this for so many years, like Gokulananda Prabhu. When he was a brahmachari, he did so much book distribution. I heard Jai Gauranga Prabhu was a book distributor. So we have so many devotees who have done this in our communities. You can just go out again and do that. So the other nice points in this purport is, why we cannot chant the Gayatri mantra? Why only the demigods and Brahmanas, second born? It is said that chanting the Gayatri mantra can only be done by people who are like really elevated. But for the general populace, like Lord Chaitanya gave us chanting the Maha Mantra. That is what is the Yuga Dharma that can actually take us back home, back to Godhead. And then in this purport also, Srila Prabhupada writes, this is the age of, in Kali Yuga, we are all in a very difficult position, we have so much trouble with our own mind, so many anarthas. But by this chanting of this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we can cleanse our heart, cleanse our mind. And also, like we see in this series of verses, we see, actually the demigods, they are very powerful personalities. Like everyone has their own planet, and they have like so much opulence, so much power, but still they are all humbled. They can't do anything without the Supreme Lord's sanction and mercy. So they are all coming, taking a humble position and begging the Supreme Lord to save them. In the same way, we have so many anarthas and so much that we go through. The only way that we can actually overcome or find solace is by taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. And in this purport also Srila Prabhupada gives this beautiful analogy of the sparks and the fire, The fire is Kalachanji, and every living entity is like a spark. And we have so many verses even in the Bhagavad Gita where Srila Prabhupada writes this, right? Can any of you think of any verse in the Bhagavad Gita where Bhagavad Gita 15.7. In this verse? You mean like just in the translation? Oh yes, thank you, Prabhu. Should be sitting here, I think, Prabhu, to give the class. Yeah, so there's other verse also, like Katha Upanishad. Can anyone help me with the? Yes, Nitya Nityanam. So many verses all over the Vedic scriptures where it is always and everywhere, it's always mentioned that we are all individual jivas and the Supreme Lord is the only master. So it's like we need to be reminded again and again, and then like, there was one verse, like when I was actually reading this set of verses, like in text 19, there is actually a distinction given between, there is Dhanavas and Daityas. So I was like wondering, like why that distinction is being made. Can anyone answer that? Because I could not figure that out. Like there is the Dhanavas are the demons and the Daityas are the Asuras. Sorry. Jaishnav is saying, can you repeat that one more time? Okay, 1 minute, the microphone is coming.
Danava's mother is Danu and Daitya's mother is Diti. That's why maybe the distinction is made.
Okay. That's a nice point. Looks like Gokulananda Prabhu.
And Asuras are those who do not accept Lord Vishnu as the Supreme.
So the Dhanavas are like, they still accept the Supreme Lord? Is that what you're saying, Prabhu?
Dhanavas are those who do not accept. And Suras and Asuras basically, right? Demigods, Devas and Dhanavas, right? It's the same thing. So at one place Prabhupada mentions that Suras are those who accept Lord Vishnu as the Supreme, whereas Asuras are those who do not accept him. And also at another place it is mentioned, Asura means Asuramante. So not just those who are categorized or who come from the lower planetary system. It could be including myself, like one who is engrossed in one's body. Asu means body.
It's like Mahotsav Prabhu has a point to make.
It says in Bhagavad Gita, Dvauputa sargo lokesmin daiva asura evacha. Daiva visarta shaf prokta asuram parthamechino. So there's two kinds of people in this world. One are the demigods, are devotees of Vishnu, and the others are demons. Krishna says that. And then there's also Vishnu Bhakta Smriti Daiva Asura Sattvaparyayaha. That those who are devotees of Vishnu, they are supposed to be the suras or demigods, but those who are not devotees of Vishnu, they're all asuras. And we see that in the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's Hiranyakashipu is known as a Daitya. Daityas are usually the rulers of
It looks like we ran out of battery.
So that's how we see and understand.
I think it's working.
That's it, yeah, sorry.
Thank you, Prabhu. And then there's this in text 20, Srila Prabhupada speaks about the snake and mouse logic. So maybe I'll just read that purport just to get a little more understanding of that. A snake and mouse were once caught in a basket. Now, since the mouse is food for the snake, this was a good opportunity for the snake. However, since both of them were caught in the basket, even if the snake ate the mouse, the snake would not be able to get out. Therefore, the snake thought it wise to make a truce with the mouse and asked the mouse to make a hole in the basket so that both of them could get out. The snake's intention was that after the mouse made the hole, the snake would eat the mouse and escape from the basket through the hole. This is called the snake and mouse, logic of the snake and mouse. So here also, like Lord Vishnu, he is actually recommending to the demigods to make truce with the demons. And actually the demons were thinking, after the churning is done, we will take all the nectar and not give anything to the demigods. And similarly, the demigods are also thinking something similar. And it is said like this cheating mentality is there even in the heavenly planets. So it's only in the spiritual world where this is not it's like completely pure. And then in the last text, text 25, a poison known as Kalakuta will be generated from the ocean of milk, but you should not fear it. And when various products are churned from the ocean, you should not be greedy for them, nor anxious to obtain them, nor should you be angry. So Lord Vishnu is actually addressing the demigods here. And it is said, in even in our Krishna consciousness, sometimes, when devotees get fame, adoration, they're praised, if we don't offer that to Guru and Krishna, they can become stumbling blocks in our Krishna consciousness. It is said that we should offer those glorifications to the Supreme Lord and Spiritual Master, and then in that way we can actually focus on the true goal, which is Krishna Prema. Thought these were my realizations, and I thought I'll open it for more discussion. If anyone would like to add, correct. Vishwa Bhagavan Prabhu.
I really appreciate this point, Prabhuji, because so many times when you can appreciate a devotee from your heart, we don't want to flatter people, right? But when we're giving something from a heart and they won't accept it, it's like, no, I don't want to hear those words. And but they're not yours. Srila Prabhupada speaks about in the Nectar of Instruction that when we find a $100 bill on the floor, we should, find who the owner is. And so when we get these appreciations, we should know who the owner is. And we should see this as a loving exchange between devotees. This devotee is giving you a gift that you're able to offer to your spiritual master. And how much more could we ask from a devotee to give us that opportunity? It's an amazing opportunity to be able to take it and give it to our spiritual master. And it grows, not only for ourselves, but for them. And so we do need to have this right mentality of how to appreciate or accept a glorification or appreciation.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I have actually seen a few devotees who are really nice devotees. When they get appreciation, they so lovingly, it's not that they blindly say that, no, it's not me. But they lovingly actually offer it to their spiritual master and the devotees. They don't make you feel bad, but at the same time, they are offering it to the right place. So, I know, I understand your point, but sometimes some devotees, out of humility, they may do it.
Yes, and that is okay. That is wonderful. But if you're saying no because then you're misunderstanding. If you're saying no, I don't think my spiritual master would like me to accept this, or some way or shape or form you're connecting it to your spiritual master, then okay. But most of the time, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I just have the dirty heart. People are looking at themselves. I don't want this. I can't accept it. No. This is Maya. This is illusion. This isn't yours. This is your spiritual master. And yes, I agree with you. If your spiritual master would think it best you not to accept it or to curb the appreciation, then completely understandable.
I just thought you might find it interesting in this word Daicha. Demon is the source of the continent of Northern Europe. Srila Prabhupada mentioned, in one lecture I heard a long time ago, that the Parashuram, you know the story of Parashuram, how he evicted the demoniac kings from India? Well, they were called Daichas. So they relocated to Northern Europe because they had to have somewhere to go. So a place that's too cold, that's so cold, is not considered really for Vedic civilization, because a sannyasi can't live outside. So they formed the countries of Deutschland, the Danish, the Dutch. That all came from the word Daicha.
That's why Prabhupada said that the German Sanskrit scholars are better than the Indian Sanskrit scholars. Prabhupada has that quote. That the German Sanskrit scholars are better than the Indian Sanskrit scholars. Coming from.
Mother Lalita Sundari, she is good.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the nice class. So my question is for the translation of text 20, where...
Sorry, Madhuri, 20?
Translate text 20.
20, okay.
Yes. So here Vishnu himself is telling to demigods that fulfilling one's own interest is so important. At the first, when you look at it on the surface, it seems like, for me it appears that being selfish is more important, but I guess, should we take it as that he's referring to spiritual interest, interest of the spirit soul? So it's like Vishnu himself is proposing a cheating mentality, appears to be on the surface like that, but is he actually referring to the soul's interest or on the...
I think from what I understand, the demigods' positions have been taken away, right, by the demons. So I think so as to re-establish them in so as to re-establish the demigods in their rightful position. And now the demons are very weak. The demigods are very weak. So that's my understanding, unless someone has other comments. Does that make sense, Mataji, what I'm saying? Mother Tulsi Saki.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for nice class and Sankirtan roundup for the month. I have a question, and it's out of curiosity. It's not my problem for sure, but it's saying that the demigods can chant the mantra and be delivered. So my understanding was that even the demigods, after their pious credits are over, they have to come down to earth to get deliverance. So is it that they have two ways? Either they are there and they chant seriously and then go back, or is it, I mean, we know that they have to come down also. And again, it's not my problem really, but I'm just curious.
Was it the, when Krishna fell those Yamala Arjuna trees, it is said those sons of Kuvera, they went back to the spiritual, they went back to do their respective duties. And then after that, is it said that they went back to the spiritual world? Is that right?
In my understanding, bhakti is independent. It's not dependent on any mundane place. So there is a facility for everyone to take up the devotional service. So anyone who is fortunate will take up wherever they are, and from there, it's like a launching pad. And it's also elsewhere mentioned, like Maharloka, Janarloka, when there are smaller annihilations, they go to the pious people or the devotees, they go to those upper planetary system, and from there, we also hear that residents of Lord Brahma also, if they are devotees, from there they can go back to Godhead. So it is not necessary that they have to come back. In one context, it is mentioned because Lord Chaitanya's mercy is here. And it is like taking an elevator. So who would not like to do that? So that's how demigods, they like to come here. This is my understanding.
Thank you, Gokulananda Prabhu.
Even seeing Srila Prabhupada's letter to Jayananda Thakur, Prabhupada writes then, even if you had a tinge of material desires, you can go to the heavenly planets, and from there you can elevate yourself further. But he says, I'm sure you went back home, back to Godhead, but Prabhupada makes that statement. In the Bhagavatam, there's another king who fought on behalf of the demigods, and he asked him, how long do I have to live? And they just say 1 minute. And it says that he goes into the temple of Lord Vishnu, meditates upon Lord Vishnu, and goes to Vaikuntha. So there are instances in Shastra of this being mentioned.
Thank
Kritwanga,
you.
that's right, yeah, Kritwanga, Maharaj Kritwanga.
Rishi Kumar Prabhu.
I just wanted to make another comment about this part in the purport. Srila Prabhupada was saying the beginning mantra is the Gayatri mantra. Therefore, after purification, when one is qualified to become a Brahmana, Dvija, he is offered the Gayatri mantra. Simply by chanting the Gayatri mantra, one can be delivered. So I heard some devotees were trying to change the history of how Srila Prabhupada gave the Gayatri mantra in ISKCON, but I'm a big fan of the following Srila Prabhupada series. It's really ecstatic to watch, especially during prasadam time. So I think it's called posterity, which means like keeping things as they are. For posterity's sake, I just wanted to give what was Govinda Dasi said in following Srila Prabhupada on when he gave the Gayatri mantra. And there's also two other devotees who say the same thing, but Govinda Dasi says, let's see, Gaurasundar really wanted this Gayatri mantra, so he talked to Prabhupada about it. He was reading all kinds of things, so Prabhupada agreed to give him Gayatri mantra and give him second initiation. So I met him on the street and he had his hair all shaved off. That really bothered me. But that night he had the Gayatri mantra initiation, and I was upset because he was going to give Gaurasundar a mantra, but he wasn't going to give it to me. So I felt very left out. So when it came time to go for the initiation ceremony, I said, well, I'm not feeling very well, so I'm not going to go. I was pouting. And then after they left, I thought to myself, what am I doing? I don't want to not be there. So I ran out the door and ran the 10 blocks all the way to the temple and burst into the temple. And Prabhupada was sitting there giving the initiation, and he looked up and he said, Govinda Dasi, I was wondering how you could stay away. You love to hear me speak so much. Because he wanted me to come, but I was mad. I was very upset about this. And so because I was a little upset, he decided that the girls also should have Gayatri mantra. Jadharani was more upset. And so he gave us initiation the next evening with the Gayatri mantra, because he knew that in this country, the girls and the boys are educated in the same way. And then there's just one really short one where, from Jadharani Mataji, since she mentioned her there. I didn't know that I was getting second initiation. I didn't know that I wasn't getting second initiation, so I was in the temple. But Govinda Dasi, one of Prabhupada's personal servants, wasn't there because she knew she wasn't going to get second initiation, and she felt bad. She came late. The fire sacrifice was taking place near the front door, and when she came in, Prabhupada looked up and said, "Oh, I was just thinking, where is the girl? And Krishna has sent you." So there's a few accounts of devotees explaining that whole exchange with Prabhupada and the devotees, and how he told the ladies that if they really wanted the Gayatri Mantra, there was no harm, and then gave them the initiation the next day.
Nanda Vijay Prabhu.
Not that I know about.
It's not in this memory, but women don't wear Brahmin threads. It's just. Yeah.
Gokulananda Prabhu would like to make a comment.
Not in this context. I was thinking about today's theme in the purport, right? Not purport, in the verse, where demigods and the demons, they are forming a truce. So since you're the champion book distributor here, and Mahotsav Prabhu, everyone knows him, so let's churn this nectar here. So I would like to know from any of you guys who have been actively involved in book distribution, did you ever come across, or is there any particular instance where you came across a demonic person and you're like representing the Supreme Lord, Guru and Parampara? Did it end ever into truce, sort of? Initially it flared up and then it ended up into truce.
They have. So if I understand the question, you're saying like initially there was disagreement and then it ended up like a nice, good, like a good ending. I mean, lot of times we see, not maybe few times I've seen like Christians who are not so eager, but most of them. They may not take, like for example, when you go on Harinam near the Traders Joe, like there are a lot of people who don't take books. Like out of maybe if you talk to 100 people, maybe like 5 or 6 people will take books. The remaining ones, somehow they feel they're Christians and they don't want to take. But always they take cookies, some prasadam. And if you say kalachanjis, those who have heard kalachanjis, some people, they don't take books, but they will take prasadam. That's my general observation. But I have not had like any like confrontational exchange. Maybe the book distributors.
Yeah, I was distributing books once in the subway, but in Atlanta. It's called MARTA, the MARTA subway station. And I was distributing books, and then I just kept going, and all the way in the end there was one person. It was a little dark, and then I went up to him and I just said, "My man, what's going on? What's up?" And then he turned around, and on his face he had tattoos like with teardrops underneath his eye, which basically means he's part of a gang, and the number of teardrops that you have are the number of people that you killed.
Wow.
Right? That's what it means, right? I've been to many tattoo conventions, they all agree about this. And then he turned around, and then he had a nice hat, nice glasses, cool beard, and he had a big gun.
Krishna.
He was packing heat. And then I thought, whoa, this is a nice place to get shot, And then I thought, okay, anyways, to die on books is always glorious, right? So he turned around, I said, I said, "Dude, what's up? You like meditation or what?" And he said, "I don't like any of that." And then I showed him the Science of Self-Realization and all these other books. I had a stack of books with me, and he said, "Who's that? I don't like that." Looking at Lord Vishnu, he was not a fan. And then he said, "I'm NOI, man. I'm Nation of Islam," And we know the background, and especially when they're from the African American background and Islam, it's like a tamas concentrate, it's like you have lemon concentrate, you have so it's like, oh God, what am I going to do? And then immediately I had an idea, and I turned the stack around, which had the nectar of instruction in the back, and I showed him the nectar of instruction and the other stack of books. I told him, look, these books are written by Dabir Khas and Shakar Malik, and they used to work for Nawab Hussain Shah, my man. So he was like, what? I said, yeah, they worked for Nawab Hussain Shah in India, bro, 500 years ago. This is the book written by Dabir Khas and Shakar Malik. I want you to take these books right now, bro. And he was like, all right, how much? I said, go big for God, or something like this. And then he ended up giving me, I don't know, $40 or $50 or $70, something like that. And he bought a big stack of books. And he got inside the train, and the door shut. And the minute the door shut, he turned around and he saw again it was a picture of Lord Vishnu on the other side. But Kalachandji saved me. So that's
Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing that adventurous and exciting Sankirtan story. Once, please go.
And this didn't happen with me. This happened with Matsya Prabhu. And we were issuing books on Walmart. And he was by himself, and the other devotee, I don't know where he was. And while he was shooting books, there was this one guy, he's like, he was trying to sell books to him, and he was like, I'm not going to buy these books. And then he all of a sudden, he took out his gun. Kids, don't try this at home, okay? He took out his gun, and he pointed at Matsya Prabhu. He said, I'm going to count down till 10, and if you don't leave, I'm going to shoot you. So then Matsya Prabhu just stood there, and he stood his ground, and he was like, you ain't going to shoot a white boy. Come on, shoot me, man. You want to shoot a white boy and go to jail? Shoot me. And then he was saying this, and he counted 10, 9, 8, all the way down to 1. And Matsya Prabhu didn't budge. He's like, man, you really are the real one. I thought, man, I thought you guys aren't real, but I understand that you really guys are the real ones. So, all right, man, let me buy these books from you. Are you my guru? Or something like this. And then he just...
Matsya, while the guy was pointing the gun at him, Matsya Prabhu was like chastising him. Matsya said he never spoke like this before, but he started speaking in like a very like urban, like gangster type of way to the guy. And he was telling him that, he's like, and why are you over here like aiming guns at people anyway? It's just because you're insecure. He's like, you feel scared about this is going on. He just started giving the guy the sauce, and then the other guy realized that he asked Matsya like, what should I do? And Matsya said, take these books and give me $59, and gave him the stuff the Rishi said.
I mean, one experience I had was not as exciting as this, but I was distributing books once, and I was showing a sense of self-realization to this Christian person. And I told him, like, there are a few articles about Lord Jesus Christ in this book, and he really liked the word that Srila Prabhupada uses, Lord Jesus Christ. And he appreciated that. And small story. It's 8:36. If there's nothing else, we'll stop here. Thank you very much for tolerating me. And most of you saved me, I think. You all added more nectar to what little I said. So, thank you. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Chakal.